Alright guys, so good afternoon. Anong oras pa kayo nandito sa campus? Ha? Sabi mo eh, 5 AM eh. Pero grabe lang yung init, hindi nakakatulong yung electric fan sa labas. Para ka may wall of hot air lagi nakasunod sa'yo. So today, okay, dadaanan natin yung work and energy. Alam ko, in-upload ko sa inyo, meron akong initial recording na in-upload, which is in discussion ko with C. It's more of dinadaanan lang naman yung concepts na to. So I would do the same thing lang naman rin. It just so happen lang kasi ang pangit ng pagkakakwento ni Hibler sa work and energy. Mahilig siya sa integration eh. And where in fact, very generic lang naman yung formulas na ginagamit natin. Right? So again, ano yung force? Ano yung weight? So ano yung work? Without knowing yung lecture dito. Like classic, ano yung work sa inyo? Force times distance, di ba? Classic lang yan. Okay? It just so happen, it just becomes complicated lang pag yung force applied sa inyo is at an angle. Okay? Or may kinu-consider kayong 2 points ng position or displacement. Okay? So si Hibler, he wants it to be generic as possible. Essentially sa kanya, yung change ng work or yung work is yung force times yung change in position. And you only have work when your force creates distance or displacement. Okay? So, energy. Ano naman yung energy? Classic definition nyo. The capacity to do work, essentially. Okay? Kung ang work is force times distance, ano naman yung power? Work per unit time. So, you know very well na it's technically joules per second or watts, basically. So, ang units ng work natin, anong ginagamit natin? Newton meter or joule. Although, we had a discussion neto ng statics, especially yung panahon ng torque and moment. We describe yung, sabi niyo, sir, so basically joule. Hindi ko lang, nakalimutan ko na kung sino. Pero, when we're talking about moments, we have to mention Newton meter. Pero when we're talking about work, we have to mention joules. Then, para naman pag English units. So, when we're talking about work, we have to call it as foot-pound. Okay? Pero pag pound-foot, we're referring to it as torque. Okay? So, yun yung distinction lang within English pagdating sa torque and yung work. Okay? So, kung ito ang units for work, ano naman for power? Watts is? Watts, joule per second. Tapos, ilan ang tapos minsan sa 1 horsepower, 0.746. Okay, good. Sige, 746. 746 watts or ilang foot-pound per second? 550, right? See. So dapat you know that by heart, so mamaya yan. Okay? And then of course, over the succeeding 2 hours natin, dadaanan natin yung there we go. So dadaanan natin yung different work induced by 4 different forces. Variable, constant, weight, and then spring. Okay? Yung variable, hindi natin masyadong nagpapakita sa sample problems yan, even sa mga problems ni Hibler. Pero more often than not, it's constant or yung work generated by yung force ng weight or force ng spring. Okay? Then, of course, pag-uusapan natin yung energy. Again, energy is capacity to do work. We have yung potential energy. We have yung kinetic energy. So, ano nga ba ang formula ng kinetic energy? mv squared over 2. That's it. Classic lang. Hindi ko na i-derive kung paano saan nanggaling yan. Potential energy. MGH. Classic MGH. That's it. Yan lang naman yun. Hindi na natin kailangan discuss further yan. And of course, meron maraming klase yan. We have yung gravitational potential energy and we have yung elastic potential energy, which we'll talk about later. So the only few things na different lang dito, paano nyo nire-represent yung work? Just W. So for our purposes dito, Hibbeler represented as U kasi yung W na ginagamit natin is weight. So ang gamit niya U. Okay? So yun yung magiging unit natin, yun yung magiging variable natin to represent yung work of a force. So dun sa high school physics nyo or ENG 207 physics nyo, paano nyo nire-represent yung kinetic energy? KE? Okay. So, huwag nyo i-judge si Hibbeler, pero para sa kanya, gusto niya T. Hindi ko lang bakit. So, yan. T, kinetic energy. Okay? Kung gusto nyo, kung gusto nyo talagang kung gusto nyo pa rin ilagay yung KE, yan dyan, KE, yan. Pero sa kanya, T. Okay? And for now, sundan natin yung lingwahe ni Hibbeler, okay? So, pag potential energy, ano yung sa inyo? P. Hibbeler V. Capital V. Okay? So, makikita nyo naman yung distinction na yan. And normally, when I'm talking about velocity naman, it's small v naman eh. So, okay pa rin yung distinction na yan. Another variable dito would be yung efficiency. Pagdating sa power and efficiency, mas madali. So, para tong high-level introduction sa fluid machinery nyo or sa machine design, you will be talking a lot about efficiency and power doon. And hopefully, pag si Sir Aguda ay naging prof nyo, you'll be talking about sizing ng pumps, sizing ng compressor, sizing ng fans and blowers, which you will be discussing pag assuming na third year na kayo lahat. Oh yes, yun ang confidence. Okay po, okay. Of course. So yeah, meron tayong efficiency rin. So yan, in less than 10 minutes, yan talaga yung pinaka-lessons natin. And more sample problems to go, okay? So daanan ko lang yung formula, especially pagdating sa work energy principle and yung conservation ng energy. Okay? Sige. Yeah. Oops. Wait lang, back. Wait, no, hindi kasama yan. Alright, good. So again, work. Essentially, a force can only do work on a particle if the particle generates or undergoes displacement of the same direction. Ba't yung pinatay? Mainit sa labas. Yes. Joke lang. Ano yung aircon natin? 19? Feels like 22. Anyway, sige, okay lang. Tapos, positive yung work mo pag yung force applied mo is in the same direction. Now, magne-negative yung work mo if yung force applied mo is opposite sa sense ng direction. Okay? So, ulit-ulit yung makikita yun. Even sa books, parehas yung makikita yun. And even if i-drawing nyo yun, for example, mamaya, yung work induced by weight, makikita nyo na negative yung magiging formula doon. Even if for the spring, when we're talking about work. Why? Because yung force applied is opposite to that, yung direction sense. Mamaya makikita natin. So, yung generic formula, nakikita nyo dito. So, work, or du, magiging f ds cosine theta, or f cosine theta ds. Pwede mo rin gamitin yung dot product using yung position vector, force times change in position vector. Okay? But then again, wala akong sample ng position vector. So, kung gusto nyo lang balikan yung trauma nyo sa dot product, okay lang naman rin. So, ito yan. So, nilagay ko lang yan for review, pero you can skip that if you want. So, first is yung work under a variable force. Then, magiging useful yung formula to, especially pag given kayo ng force na hindi siya naka-express as newtons or hindi siya naka-express as one singular unit when yung force nyo is expressed as an equation. So, you're given a force of 10s newtons or bibigyan kayo ng 10x squared, parang ganun. Or 10s squared na newton. So, really depends. Kasi makikita, doon yung magagamit yung formula to pag meron kayong variable force. Okay? So, simple lang naman an integration ng f cosine theta ds. Pag gagamitin mo yung dalawang position na to. So, meron kayong upper and lower limit, which is usually provided sa problems naman. Okay? Either sasabihin ng problem na you start at rest or at s is equals to 0, ito yung state niya. Na yan, bibira natin magamit yung sa position vector kasi normally mag-dot product pa tayo dyan. Okay? So, huwag nyo natitigan to. Ito na lang. Okay? Next is yung pinaka-common na makikita nyo parati sa mga sample problems sa book and sa mga fundamental problems yun dyan. Which is yung work of a constant force along a straight line. Okay? And then meron rin tayong work rin. Well, meron tayong curvilinear pero hindi ko hinahanap yung work though. Pero okay lang yan. Kailangan alam nyo pa rin yan, okay? So si normal acceleration or si tangential acceleration. Predominantly si normal acceleration. Pero anyway, for this straight line naman, pretty straightforward siya. It just so happen yung force natin dito is represented by a magnitude. So hanap natin yung horizontal force. So kukunin lang natin yung x component niya. Horizontal component magiging force constant cosine theta and then yung delta S, S2, S1. Now, it's not necessary na magma-minus kayo ng dalawang points nun unless very specific na may dalawang position kayo doon. Normally, sinasabi na sa inyo as a delta S na. So, normally, yung mangyayari dito is simply multiplying force and yung distance na yan. Total na yan, basically. Madalas ganun. Okay? Madalas, pag kailangan ng 2 points na yan is mag-integrate tayo. Kailangan yung upper and lower limits nun. Okay? Hopefully, would you say na mas comfortable kayo right now for integration? Hindi masyado pa rin. Okay, konting practice pa. Okay. Sige. Sometimes, magbibigay ako sa problem ng graph lang. So, may isang fundamental problem doon. Try nyo subukan yun. Yeah. After ng work energy lang naman yun. Maganda siya exercise. Okay? Then, of course, next naman dito is yung work by weight. So, alam na ng C to. Sige, explain mo. The joke lang, guys. Joke lang. Basically, when there's weight involved, normally, either paakyat yung isang block or box, nasa inclined plane siya. So, habang pataas ka, may factor yung weight doon. Okay? And yung makikita nyo dito, it's negative. Why? It's negative because the force W, or yung weight mo mismo, is directed downwards, while yung displacement is upwards. Gets? So, moving from point 1 to point 2, pero yung weight mo is going downwards. Gets? Gets na yan? Okay, goods. See, it's a lot easier the second time around, especially sa ibang tao dito. Okay, hopefully sa inyo, nabuksan nyo siya over the weekend, over ME week, probably not. Okay? Okay, any questions before I move forward? Yes? Magiging positive yung work mo. Why? Your work now is now in the same direction ng displacement na. Good question. Kasi yung question ko dito. Good question naman yun. Okay? Alright, pasensya na hindi ko na siya nabura. Ito yung last discussion ko sa kanila before eh. Hopefully napanood nyo yun. Pero essentially naman, dito sa work of a spring, kung mapapansin nyo, so ito yung derivation lang naman. Force times distance lang naman siya. Eh, yung formula ng spring is essentially is what? FKS, di ba? So, in-apply lang naman yun, in-integrate siya, S2, S1, sinubstitute yung S2, S1, then that's it. Ito yung magiging final formula, or pwede mo i-rewrite as negative K over 2, S sub 2 squared minus S sub 1 squared. Now, negative siya because yung force operates in the opposite direction ng stretch. And it only happens pagdating sa work. When we're talking about springs, and we're talking about work, magiging negative yan. And it's only pagdating sa potential energy, sa elastic potential energy, using the same formula, magiging positive yan. Why? Whether you compress or stretch siya, you contain potential energy, di ba? Correct? Okay, goods. I'm glad that's understood. So anyway, more on that later. Makikita nyo naman eh. Okay. I'll be primarily focusing dito kasi nandito na yung notes ko. Nagawa ko na ng animation yung solution ko dito eh. Okay, so yan. So meron tayong variable, meron tayong constant force, meron tayong by weight, and then meron tayong by spring. Now, combine natin together with kinetic energy, and we have this particular equation. So again, yung T natin dito, is kinetic energy, mv squared over 2, classic formula. So we have here yung principle ng work and energy equation natin. I can explain yung integration part, pero you can read that on your own time naman na. Essentially, you can find yung total work sa system by getting the difference ng two kinetic energy at two different points. Ng difference ng kinetic energy of two different points, essentially. So, original kasi nan, that will be U1 to T2 minus T1. It just looks nicer pag T1 plus the summation of all the work in the system equals to T2. Okay? So again, work is positive when the first component is in the same sense of direction as its displacement. Otherwise, it is negative. Okay? Available siya sa book, especially yung procedure for analysis. Like, paano mo isosolve yung mga sample problems doon. Okay? So, nilagay ko na lang dito siya. Yeah, it's a mouthful, pero you can read that at your own time. Essentially, what I'm trying to tell lang naman dito, you can start with your FBD muna by doing analysis of your own. Nasaan ba yung mga forces? May kinetic energy ba to begin with? Baka naman wala. Pag sinabing starts at rest, okay. Malamang wala siyang kinetic energy from the start. Kasi yung formula ng kinetic energy is mv squared over 2. So kung at rest siya, yung v1 natin or initial velocity, 0 yun. And then of course, you now apply yung principle of work energy equation, which is T1 and summation ng work equals T2. And the reason bakit siya summation is because there's a possibility it could be a combination of all, yung spring, yung weight, and yung constant force, or pwede siya individual lang naman. So you have to ask lagi, okay, ano ba yung work involved dito? Kasi yung kinetic energy, it's a lot easier. The fact na may velocity ka doon, at some point, alam mo na kagad na may kinetic energy yun. Okay? Like for example, this one, pero ayoko example yan, skip ko na lang yan. Okay, sabihin natin, nakikita nyo ba actually? Yeah. There we go. Kita ba? Kita. Kita. Goods. Yan, tulog na ba siya? Okay na ba yan? Sige, bahala siya dyan. Alright. By the way, quiz pala natin next week. Okay? Sabado. Okay? Okay. Ha? So, tuloy pa rin. Kayo ba mag-backboard exam? I believe nakakuha tayo ng kwarto sa taas. So, dun tayo sa taas. Aircon naman yan eh. In any case, doon mo na. May 4, okay? May 4. Star Wars Day. Ganun ulit. Alright, let's try this one naman. So we have here, the spring is placed in between the wall and the 10-kilogram block. Now, tinutulak ng block is, meron siyang puwersang nagtutulak sa kanya ng 500 newtons. We're here to determine yung velocity pag yung position is at 0.5 meters. And then, pag S is equals to 0, the block is at rest, and the spring is uncompressed. The contact surface is smooth. So, that statement would indicate na, okay, wala tayong frictional forces. So, eliminate na agad yun. And, okay. So, now that you know ano meron ka, you can start by drawing first yung FBD. So, ano yung mga forces involved dito? You have your 500 newtons, you have your normal force, and then you have yung weight, and of course, yung spring. Pero, which direction naka-point yung spring? Since you're pushing it against the spring, kumukontra yung spring natin. So, it's probably gonna be in this manner. Okay? So, I'm just talking about this one lang naman, itong part na to. Mag-iba yung storya pag nandito tayo. Pero ganoon rin naman eh. Okay? And then of course, yung second step natin, okay, let's apply yung principle of work energy equation natin. So magiging T1 plus summation ng work, whatever work na meron sa system na yan, equals T2. So yung second question nyo, okay, ano yung mga work involved dito? Anyone? So meron tayong spring, very obvious yun. Ano pa? We have yung 500 newtons. So it seems to me na meron siyang applied na constant force. Normal force is just consequence lang naman nandun siya sa smooth surface eh. So parati nandun naman yung tulad ng weight eh. Weight? Kasama ba yung weight? Not exactly, kasi level naman yung ground unless yung block mo is at an elevation. Okay? So meaning yung involved work dito is yung work ng spring and work ng constant force. So sabi daw, so now that we're clear that, with that, ano yung next? So the block is at rest, meaning we know yung initial velocity niya is 0. So meaning yung kinetic energy niya at point 1 or yung starting point niya would be probably 0 rin. Yeah. Actually, 0 siya, hindi probably. Okay. Now that you know, so ang magiging matitira na lang dito would be yung work equation nyo for spring and yung constant force and yung T2, which is yung kinetic energy. Okay? mv squared sub 2, basically. So now, expanding pa further yung, yung equation, substituting yung mga known values natin, you will have this particular equation. 0 plus yung constant force, work ng constant force, and then plus work ng spring. So, sa book, hindi niya ginagawa. Ako medyo hinimay ko lang ng konti. Pero yung succeeding problems na medyo diretso ko na i-apply yun. So, kaya siya summation ng work eh. Kasi it's probably more than one forces acting sa body doon. And per force generates amount of work, especially when they're creating displacement. Okay? Kuha? Yes. So, nakadalawang klase ako na perfect ko na yung spill ko by this time. Okay. Alright, so with this, pwede na natin substitute. So, constant force, alam naman natin yan. Basically, force times distance lang naman. Essentially, ito siya. So, yung horizontal force times in distance na yan. So, that will be what? 500 times 405, 4/5 times yung S is equals to 0.5 meters. So, you see what I'm telling you now, especially pag given na yung total distance. So, there's no need for 2 points na unless mag-integrate tayo. Okay? Almost direct substitution siya yung paggamit ng formula. So, basically, yung magiging challenge nyo dito is identifying yung, okay, ano ba yung mga work sa system na to? Okay? So, let me continue lang. So, meron tayo sa spring. Again, negative ks squared over 2. And then equals to mv squared over 2. Substituting yung mga values na yan. Ito siya. Cancel, cancel. And then you will have, you will now, isolating yung velocity, you will have 5.244 meters per second dito. Okay? So this part is quite easy. Parati yun ang ginagawa yan eh. Nag-solve kayo parati. Yung hard part lang dito, again, is identifying, okay, ilan ba yung work dito? Spring, constant force. Okay? Magmamatter lang yung weight pag nasa incline siya or nakaangat siya or nakasuspend siya. Gets? Okay, good. Let's try another one. Let's try naman yung naka-incline naman siya. May question dito before I move forward? Okay. Tingin na lang Cheetos. Konti lang. Ay, tumawa ko. Kung bangko ako ng mga plus, nasa deficit na ako. Alright. Shit, kasama sa recording yun. Okay. Dito sponsored ng Cheetos, by the way. Okay, let's try naman yung naka-incline naman dito. And again, same conditions, we're given a constant force of 300 newtons na inaakyat natin yung 20 kilograms. Then, kailangan natin mahanap gaano kabilis yung pag-angat niya when it travels at 10 meters upward in the incline. Tapos, I believe, okay, meron naman tayong kinetic of friction dito. So, meaning meron tayong frictional force involved dito. Okay? So, again, it starts from rest. So, we know yung initial conditions siya probably starts at s equals to 0. Initial velocity starts at 0. Okay? So, first things first, we draw up first yung FBD. And with one thing missing. Ayan, dito pala. Yan, frictional force. Yan. There we go. So, di ko lang siya nilagay. Sadya yan for lecture purposes. Alright, so may frictional force dyan. Do not forget. So, meron kang normal force acting perpendicular to sa smooth surface. Then, of course, you have yung weight perfectly going downward rin at an incline siya. Okay? Of course, pag nagsosolve ako, sanay ako ginagawa ko yung normal force ko as yung y-axis ko na. Parang babaguhin ko na lang dito, apply ko ng trigo would be yung weight. Which hopefully, sanay na kayo since statics days. Going back to record. Luckily, I will be handing one section ng stockade. Alright, so after ng FBD, Of course, na-identify nyo na yung given nyo dyan. Next up is i-set up natin yung... Ano yung una dapat natin i-set up dito? So, sure, FBD nandyan na. Pero how would you proceed next? Paano yung structure mo? Would you go kaagad sa principle ng work energy equation? Or... You can identify forces. Yeah, actually pwede rin kasi makukuha mo naman kaagad, di ba? Very good. So, pwede natin kunin kaagad yung which one? Yung normal force. Why? Kasi kailangan rin natin siya eventually sa frictional force eh. Kasi frictional force is what? Coefficient ng friction times normal force, ta? So, again, recall yung summation ng forces natin equals MA. So, in this case, we're going to go yung summation ng forces sa y-axis equals to mass times acceleration sub y. Question, do we have acceleration sa y-axis? Do we have? May acceleration ba tayo? Ha? Meron o wala? As I recall, ikaw nag-correct sa akin eh. Zero. Ayan, yan. Doon tayo, okay? Okay, good. Sige. So, madali na lang yung next parts dito. So, normal force minus yung weight equals yung mass times yung, basically zero na yung part na to. So, in-expand natin further, that's gonna be minus 20 kilograms, 9.8066, cosine 30 kasi we're talking about this one. And makuha natin is 169.85 newtons. Yes, sir. Hindi naman maangat eh. And yung base natin dito would be yung normal force eh. Okay? So basically, along this one, dito may movement. Okay? Pero dito, wala. Gets? On later problems, mas clear kung bakit walang acceleration. Pag sinabi sa inyong constant velocity, may acceleration tayo, wala. Wala. Kasi constant yung velocity. Okay, good. So yung next na, since nakuha nyo na yung normal force, we can now set up na yung principle ng energy and work equation natin. So again, we ask ourselves, ano yung mga work involved dito again? Madali lang yung kinetic energy eh. So kinetic energy at the start, meron ba siya or wala? Oh, at the start, bakit wala? I'll give you a clue. It starts daw from rest. Exactly. So obviously yung T1 natin dito, 0. So yung T2 malamang meron siyang final velocity, given na yan. Okay, ang next question natin, ano yung mga work involved? So meron tayong weight. Meron pa, ano pa? May? So by constant force, and then what else? And yung frictional force. So yun yung analysis natin dun. So you have yung work under by weight, constant force, and by friction. So pwede mo siyang, gaya na sabi natin, T1 natin is 0 since V1 is 0. So in this case, mag-next slide na ako kasi hindi na kasya. So expanding natin yung equation ng principal energy and work equation, we will have this one. Okay, medyo mabilis. So isa-isay natin. So again, T1 natin is 0. And then nandito yung constant force natin, horizontal force, which is what? 300 newtons times yung distance na yan. Yeah, okay, goods. And then of course, meron tayo yung frictional force times yung distance at 10 meters. So that will be coefficient of friction times the normal force, so minus yan. Then of course, we have yung weight, so minus mg sine 30 degrees. Okay? And then finally, 1/2 mv squared. Tapos since pare-parehas naman yung distance nila ng 10, so nilabas ko lang siya. In-isolate natin yung v squared. You can plug and play na lang sa calcul nyo yan and you will have 12.3 meters per second or 12.29 meters per second. Okay? Questions? Okay. What? Ano sabi? Alright, so I understand, okay, medyo mahirap siya sa simula, pero once you go through the motions of solving yung problems na yun, mapapansin niyo na, okay, mas madali na pala pag na-identify ko na yung lahat yung work, it's literal plug and play na lang. And then, ang maganda nito, you're bouncing back from, you're bouncing off dun sa kinematic equations nyo and yung equations of motion. So, nandun pa rin siya, and which I hope is intuitive na for you guys. Okay? So, meron pa ako sa dito. What if hindi ko kayo binigyan ng ano, ng yeah. What if hindi kayo binigyan ng kunwari 300 newtons? So bigyan kayo ng equations ng motion. So all you have to do lang naman, diyan lang pa kayo mag-integrate. So ang clues mo dito, determine yung speed ng 100 kilogram crate when it rises to 15 meters. The crate is initially rest on the ground. So yung initial conditions niya is 0 pagdating sa position and yung velocity. So doon pa lang alam mo na kagad yung limits ng integration mo. Upper lower limits mo. You can also start first with your FBD dito. So essentially parang ganyan. Tapos pwede yung pang gawa ng equations ng motion between ito. So pwede kayo gumawa ng dalawang FBD eh. So pwede yung dito muna, so yan yung weight, and then yung whatever yung T na to. Okay? Then you can use naman yung dito rin. Okay? Kasi kailangan mo malaman rin yung orientation niya eh. Okay? So in this case, 2T. So, from this, pwede natin gawin na yung principle of work energy equation natin. Then, yung T1 natin, alam natin magiging 0 yan by expanding this equation. So, makikita mo, diniretso ko rin sa work. We have yung work, ano ba yung mga work involved natin? Work by weight. And then, of course, yung work by constant force, whatever yung formula na to. And then, doon ka lang mag-integrate. Okay? So, yung F na yan, that will be in T, 2T. Gets? So yung sa kinetic energy, it's a lot easier kasi for one, yung isang state natin yun yung hinahanap. And the other one, sinabi na 0 yung position niya. So position and yung conditions niya starting from rest on the ground. So obviously 0 na yan. And then ito, integrate mo na lang yan. So magiging ganyan siya. So 600 plus 2s squared. So pag integrate mo yan, magiging 600s plus 1, so 2s cubed ba yan over 3. Yan. And then, solve it as it is. Makuha nyo siya as 12.48 meters per second. Marunong naman kayo gumamit ng mag-integrate sa calculator, just in case. Pare daw. Okay, very good. Okay? Questions? Alright. Diretso tayo sa power and efficiency kasi trust me, mas madali yung power and yung efficiency. And pagdating sa power, again, essentially it's just work per unit time. Okay? So yun yung usual formula. Pero yung madalas na ginagamit natin dito would be ito. Force times velocity. Technically, yun rin yun eh. Kasi velocity na rin is what? Distance over time rin yun, essentially. So, essentially, you're doing yung work per unit time. Work is force times in distance na yun. And then power will be yung force times distance divided by yung per unit time na yun. Okay? Then, hopefully, ito yung mga conversions na dapat sa ulo nyo na by heart. So, we have here yung 1 watts is 1 joule second or 1 Newton meter per second. 1 horsepower is 550 foot-pound per second. And 1 horsepower is also 746 watts. Okay? Yes. Bakit? Ayaw nyo nang makinig? Meron pa akong 4 na sample problem. Mainit pa. Okay, and then of course, efficiency. Efficiency is just simply power output over power input. And then of course, pag energy pinag-uusapan natin, energy output over energy input. Okay? Okay, let's try solving kaagad yung problem. This time, a lot simpler. A box pushed horizontally at an angle. Partly sinihila at an angle. So, classic box natin. Mahilig tayo sa boxes dito. So here we have a 20 kilogram block. Okay, hinihila siya with a force ng 30 newtons. There's no friction kasi smooth yung surface between ng block and the ground. We're here to determine yung power at time is equals to 4 seconds. And initially, the block is at rest. How should we proceed? Of course, classic FBD. Kasi simple lang naman, ganyan lang naman yung FBD nan. And yung requirement natin dito, power is t equals to 4 seconds. Next up is, of course, power yung nahanap natin. Ano ba formula ng power? Force times velocity or work divided by unit time. In which case, yung force and velocity, we are very familiar with kasi nag-equations of motion tayo and we're used to kinematic equation. However, with yung force, malalaman natin yung acceleration and with acceleration, doon natin makukuha yung velocity via kinematics. So let's try equations of motion muna. Okay, so again, summation of fx equals to mass times acceleration sub x. In this case, ang unknown lang natin dito is yung ax. Kasi yung summation of fx available sa atin, which is what? 30 times 4 over 5, correct? Okay. In this case, cancel. Ang acceleration natin will be around 1.2 meters per second squared. And then from here, we can solve kinematically. Vf is equals to Vi plus At. It just so happened that we know initial velocity is 0 kasi start at rest. The block starts at rest. And then we know yung time. At time is equals to 4 seconds. And we know rin yung acceleration kasi kakompute lang natin. And we get 4.8 meters per second na lang. So all we have to do na lang is just simply multiply yung horizontal force na yun times velocity to get yung power. Which is equals to 115.2 watts. So kung titignan nyo, pag power and efficiency problems, it's a lot simpler. Kasi balik ka sa FBD, okay, may equations of motion ka, possibly may kinematic equations ka, and then, diretsong application ng power formula. Oh, napopo ka na, Koji. Thank you so much. I thought I was boring yun na eh. Sige. All right. Let's try again. Something much more simpler naman. A box, hinihila horizontally. Pero this time, you're not given, your force is expressed as a function of position. Okay? So F here is 10s newtons, or S is in meters. The contact surface between the block and the ground is smooth, again. So wala kang frictional force. Determine the power of force F when S is equals to 5 meters. Okay, power pa rin yung nahanap natin dito. And we're here to determine yung power when S is at 5 meters. Initially, the 20 kilogram block is at rest. Almost similar yung structure niya with yung previous problem. With one core difference, your force is expressed as a function ng position. How do you proceed? Okay, the FBD would look something like this again. And then what's next? Summation ng, which is, you're gonna go with the motions na equations ng motion, correct? So here, you would express na yung acceleration. Ang mahanap mo dito, ano? Acceleration, correct? And yung acceleration mo dito would be expressed as a function ng position or displacement. Magiging 0.5 s meters. So kinematically, paano na yung solution dito? If you recall yung ginagawa natin when an acceleration in your variable is expressed as a function of another variable, like for example, acceleration as a function of displacement, we would use yung formula neto. Remember yung a dv over dt, v over ds over dt. So we will express them in terms of time. We will be utilizing yung formula ng v dv equals a ds. And with here, we integrate both sides of the equation. We know yung limits. It starts from rest, so both velocity and position starts from 0. Yung final velocity, yun yung hinahanap natin. But luckily, we know yung final position, which is at 5 meters. So integrate both sides. V squared over 2 equals to 0.5 s squared over 2. Then substitute mo na lang yung 5. That will be 3.54 meters per second. but we're not yet done. Kasi all you have to do na lang is just follow yung formula ng power, force times velocity. So in this case, yung 10s na yun, yung s na yun, sa substitute mo yung 5 meters. So 5 times 10 times yung velocity na to, and it will give you 176.78 watts. Okay? Questions? Alright. Sir, kailan papasok yung efficiency? Well, good thing tinanong niyo yun. Hindi ka sumusunod sa script, guys. Sige. So again, whether yung force nyo is expressed as a actual force or expressed as a function of a position, you can still go through the motions ng, okay, finding yung equations ng motion niya and solving kinematically para mabuo yung formula to. And again, yung thought process doon, nagsimula lang kayo with this formula. Alam nyo lang power is force time velocity. And then from forces, okay, anong merong arsenal meron kayo? Alam nyo na meron kayo equations of motion. Sa velocity, paano ko mahanap? Malalaman mo na, okay, somewhere down the line, magsosolve ako kinematically. You may not know it kaagad, pero when you go through the motions again ng pag-solve ng problem, you would know na, okay, ito pala yung gagamitin ko. Okay. Let's try naman yung may efficiency. Okay? In this particular case, pag may nagpakitang efficiency dyan, there's two kinds of power na kailangan mahanap dyan. So in this case, pinapahanap yung power supplied. Power supplied means power input. Which means, ang una mo mahahanap dyan is power output. Okay? And then from power output, you would use yung efficiency to get yung power input. Okay? So what do we have here? Meron tayong constant speed of 3 feet per second. We're here to determine yung power supplied sa motor in horsepower. The load weighs about 100-pound force, and the efficiency ng motor is 0.8. Unitless pala yung efficiency, by the way, guys. Neglect the mass of the pulleys. Now, from the start, I would start first by determining, okay, nasan ba yung direction ng forces ko? Saan ba yung transfer ng load ng 100 pounds? So what I do is, I draw again yung pulley or you can overlay. So alam ko na, okay, so ito yung FBD, pag yung point A to C, magta-transfer 100 na yan. So kung may tension ako doon, equal lang dapat yon. So yung C to B, dapat 100 pa rin yon. Pero pagdating sa B, doon magkakaiba ng konti. Okay? Which we would expand further dito. So nilagyan ko ng T1 and T2 dito. So, pwede ko kunin yung equations ng motion at point A, which is yung ginawa ko specifically dito. Para malaman ko na T1 is essentially is 100-pound force lang by simply looking at yung FBD. And by the way, yung acceleration natin dito is 0. Why? Correct. Dahil constant speed tayo dito. Yeah. And then, we get yung equations ng motion at point B. So, makukuha natin yung T2 here will be twice that of T1. So, 200-pound force lang naman. I would prefer it this way. At least dito mathematically, kita mo kaagad. So, na yan, yung force ng 200-pound force, yun yung force mo dun sa power equals to force times velocity. And luckily, we have a constant speed ng 3 feet per second. And all you have to do na lang is just simply multiply them. Pero yung makukuha mo ditong power is power output. Gets? Hindi yung power input, ha? Okay? Yeah, sorry, dapat paligtad ko. Foot-pound, para, we're still following yung rules. So, pero okay lang naman yan, as long as mag-cancel out. So, makukuha mo dito is around, power output mo is 1.091 horsepower. Then, of course, para makuha yung power input, all you have to do is divide yung power output by your efficiency, and you will get the power input of 1.4 horsepower, 1.3636 horsepower. Okay? It's a lot simpler, mas madali siya compare sa work. Pero pagdating naman sa work, ang challenge lang naman dun, again, is identifying yung work system and applying yung formula. Ilan naman yung so far yung equations pa lang ng principle ng work energy equations pa lang yung pinakabago sa inyo. All you have to do is just sum it up all the work lang and then yung difference ng kinetic energy. Okay, with power naman, all you have to do is just go through the motions ng equations ng motion. Possibly kung may kinematics ng konti if we're talking about speed. When we're talking about power and efficiency naman, it's pretty much direct formula naman siya. Okay? Let's try again. This time, patagilid naman siya. So here we have a 50 kilogram load at point A. It's hoisted by motor M so that the load has a constant velocity of 1.5 meters per second. We are to determine yung power input of the motor, which operates at an efficiency of 0.8. Again, you can write again yung FBD dito. So you want to separate them. So between at point A, it'll probably look like that. Doon sa pulley mismo, probably ganun. And yung pinaka-last in between ng motor and ng pulley, it'll probably look like something like this. And visually, you would determine wait, nangyari. Anyway, visually, you would determine so visually, you would determine na yung T1 mo is probably equal to T3 kasi eventually magiging isa rin naman yun eh. So, okay, at least sure ka doon sa transfer ng power. Okay? In this case, pwede mong gamitin yung equations of motion mo para malaman yung T or yung F, depending on yung designation nyo, which is simply T minus yung weight kasi yun yung magiging involved sa y-axis na yun. Yung acceleration mo would be equals to 0 kasi constant yung velocity natin. So you're left with T minus W, which is essentially 490.33 newtons. Ah? Ito, it's more of naninigurado lang ako yung transfer ng whatever yung 50 kilogram load na yan, I should be equal pa rin all throughout the system. Okay? So next up is simply solving yung power in. So we know yung power output natin is force times velocity. Basically, 490.33 newtons times 1.5 meters per second. So automatically, that's joule per second. What's kaagad yan? You will have 735.495 watts. Okay? Eh, ang kailangan natin power input. So all you have to do is just divide that by efficiency. You get 919.37 watts. Questions? Okay. So before I start, any questions pagdating sa power and efficiency naman? Alright. Alright guys, last few sample problems and concept naman ha. So kanina, we talk about yung combination ng work in a system and yung combining yung formula with yung kinetic energy. Now, isasama naman natin yung potential energy. Specifically, yung gravitational and yung elastic potential energies. So, essentially, meron tayong tinatawag na concept about conservative forces. If yung work done natin by a force remains in the same direction regardless yung path niya, essentially, they're classified as conservative forces. So, yung mga samples would be yung weight and yung weight of a particle and yung force generated by spring. So here we have yung gravitational and potential energy denoted by capital V. So mapapansin nyo dito, potential energy is simply yung weight times yung whatever yung displaced height niya. So essentially mgh, yung pinaka-common nating alam natin. Kasi weight is mass times acceleration due to gravity. Again, ang pinaka-importante dyan would be yung datum line kung saan siya. So above the datum line, positive yung potential energy natin. Below the datum line, magiging negative siya. Pero in contrast naman with elastic potential energy, whether compress siya or stretch, ang formula natin for potential energy will be always positive. The coefficient ng yung spring coefficient natin, s squared over 2. Okay? Tapos, just like yung you can get yung work by the difference ng dalawang kinetic energy, you can also get yung total work done in a system by getting yung potential function. So ano bang potential function dyan? Essentially, yung potential function is just simply yung combination ng gravitational and elastic forces. In this case, gravitational and elastic potential energy. And then you can get also yung work done neto by just getting yung difference neto. Okay? However, combining yung formula to with the conservation ng energy, we will have something like this one. Now, if involved yung non-conservative forces, so you have yung work dun, you know? All you have to do lang is just combine yung work sa system na yun, the same way we analyze yung work in the previous slides. However, for most cases naman, we won't be dealing with it kasi primarily yung naggumagawa ng work would be conservative forces. In this case, matitira sa formula nyo is yung dalawang state ng kinetic and yung potential energy. Okay? Let's try solving a problem. And madalas ito yung gagamitin natin. And if ever magpakita to, the same way principles na ginawa na ng first few slides eh. How was your nap, sir? Okay. All right, let's start with the pendulum. Okay, nothing fancy. So a pendulum bob is released from rest when it is at point A. Determine the speed and yung tension ng cord when the bob passes through its lowest position B. Okay? So how would you solve this muna? Yes, pero which part? So, preferably, drawing nyo yung FBD at its lowest point. It just so happen, nung ginagawa ko yung notes neto, na-drawing ko yung FBD before yung lowest point. Kaya medyo at an angle tuloy yung FBD ko dito. Yan. So, kung drawing nyo talaga siya, at lowest point is somewhere dito, di ba? So, ayan yan, and then yan. So, weight, and then yung tension ng cord. Okay? And then, kung mapapansin nyo, curvilinear yung path. So which means yung gagamitin natin for equations of motion would be either tangential or normal acceleration. In this particular case, ang gagamitin natin is yung normal acceleration. Okay? Not sure kung tama yung direction ko. Dapat pa ganun yata ito. No? Okay? So from here, we establish yung conservation ng energy natin dito. So, ang maganda pag sa kinetic, pag sa conservation of energy problems, you would determine kaagad kung merong potential energy ka at a particular point in time. For example, at point A, do you think we have potential energy? So again, yes, di ba? Kasi what? It's elevated at what particular height? 1.5, yung radii niya mismo. Okay? Meron ba tayong kinetic energy? Wala. Kasi sinabi, it's released from rest. So, there's no kinetic energy to begin with. Okay? At point B, do we have potential energy? Hindi. Gusto ko yes eh. Depends on me, yes. Wala, syempre. Kasi what? Nasa lowest point ka eh. So, meaning, expended na lahat ng potential energy mo, okay? Pero may kinetic energy ka ba? Yes. Anyway, so yeah. So doon pala malalaman mo na, okay, yung potential energy at point B is 0 and kinetic energy at point A is 0. So all you have to do na lang is play with yung potential energy at point A and kinetic energy at point B. So expand mo further yung equation na yan. You'll have something like this. And then eventually, i-isolate mo lang yung velocity, you would get it at 5.42 meters per second. However, that's just one variable na hinahanap natin. We still need to know yung tension. So we can get yung tension by equations of motion naman. So if you're familiar again with this one, summation of F sub n is equals to m times an, or an is yung normal acceleration natin. Ano nga ba yung formula natin doon? Over radius or radius of curvature. So, wait lang. Yeah, so essentially yun. V squared over radii. And then substituting it, cancel yung units, and you would get 58.84 newtons. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Sure, wait lang. Patapos na tayo. Alright, sige, tapusin na natin. Alright, this tayo naman. Classic problem yung box na may magsaslide. So, meron tayo ditong 2 kilogram package. Leaves the conveyor belt at point A. So, meron na siyang initial speed at 1 meter per second at point A. and slides down a smooth ramp, so meaning wala tayong frictional forces dito. So we're here to determine yung required speed ng conveyor belt at point B, so that it can be delivered without slipping. Also, pinapahanap rin yung normal reaction sa curved portion ng ramp. So, saan yun? So, yung curved portion ng ramp, kung titignan natin, is somewhere dito. And binigyan tayo ng radius of curvature at 2 meters. Yan. So, itong path na to. So, if you're like me, gusto ko rin imagine kung paano yung takbo ng energy na to or paano yung takbo ng box na to. So, you can actually draw muna yung FBD. Your FBD would probably look something like this one. At least dito, you can also imagine where the forces are and you can determine kaagad visually, at point A, meron ba kinetic and potential energy? And at point B, meron ba potential and kinetic energy? So, in this particular case, you have initial velocity, so may kinetic energy ka. Your box A is elevated at 4 meters, so meron kang potential energy. At point B, yung potential energy is totally spent kasi you're almost near datum line, almost zero na yan. And then, pero you're here to find yung speed, so probably you still have yung kinetic energy mo. Okay? Alright, and then you can start first with, again, yung equation natin ng conservation of energy. TA plus VA equals to TV plus VB. We cancel out yung VB kasi zero na yan. Expanding yung equation na yan into this. Tapos, everything per variable involves yung mass natin. So, yung 2 kilogram na yan, we can also cancel it out. And then we're left with yung velocity at point A, acceleration due to gravity, and elevation at point A, and then of course yung VB squared. Isolating yung final velocity or velocity at point B, you get 8.936 meters per second. Okay? Yes, Jana. Hindi, essentially, in-arrange ko lang. Diba? Tapos, multiply mo na yung 2 times dito, and then yan. Kalimutan ko lang yung bracket dito. Okay? And then, of course, yung final equation dito, mag-equations of motion kayo. F of n equals to m times a sub n. You'll have this one. And then, since given na tayo radius of curvature of 2 meters, you can solve na to directly and get yung normal reaction, which is yung NB, at 99.0654 newtons, or essentially 100 newtons. Okay? Questions? What? So dali kasi ito lang ang pag-iisipan niyo eh. So yan lang yung formula ng gagalawan. Alam niyo naman yung kinetic energy formula. Alam niyo naman yung potential energy formula. So wala kayo ibang choices kundi doon lang kayo maglalaro.